Alright, this is going to be the last vlog 4 for the last movie, Love, Simon. So, the main point of this movie is basically to tell a coming-of-age story, but with the very particular detail of this being a gay man. So, the movie emphasizes a lot that he is a very typical guy, he's living a very typical life, he has good friends, he has a great family, he's wealthy, like he's not dealing with a lot of issues that a lot of people are dealing with, but he does have the one exception of being gay. And obviously being gay isn't an issue, and I think that's something I really like about this film is that it isn't made to be an issue. The problem is more so that he doesn't know if he is personally ready to have relationships change, have interactions with people change, have his position in his high school changed by people knowing that he is gay. So really quickly to get into something, or the aesthetics of the film, something that I really liked were the scenes where we kind of get a I guess mind's eye into what Simon thinks of blue. So when we would see these, we'd see someone on a computer in like a kind of blue tinting, and then it would be whichever character Simon thought was blue in that exact moment. And I think that was really effective at helping us as viewers really resonate with the emotional connection he had to blue, because when he's talking to those characters, it feels a lot more tense because, oh, like this must be Blue, who Blue is. Or even if you know realistically, like they're probably going to change it up later, it makes it feel a little bit less antiquated where it's like, oh, we know the identity of Blue is going to consistently be changing, but because they have that very direct characterization where they show somebody being Blue, it still feels a little bit worse when there are the moments where he does realize, oh, that's not who Blue is, oh, I have to keep looking, stuff like that, right? So that was something aesthetically I really liked. Although I do think this is a very story-based film, and I do think the story is well constructed overall. I think there are some big things to kind of have complaints with. The first is probably, again, just the diversity and the kind of setting of the story. I think it's a very generic story being set in a very generic kind of white suburbia. There's some generic dialogue, and some of the characters can be a little bit flat, a little bit one-dimensional. But I do think at the same time, it is very engaging to its target audience of, I imagine, like teenagers who are questioning their identity, because it is very easy to relate to. Like, this does feel like a very real teenager. It feels like his interactions with his family are believable. It feels like his interactions with his friends are believable. And it feels like this is a very believable concern for him to be having in his life. So I think on that level, it's really effective, even if it's not on a more, I guess, like strict script writing filmmaking level as like intense and dense and interesting. I don't think it needs that because it's not kind of the story it wants to be. And something, I guess, to get into what I like about this film, because I do like this film, is that I think it has a very positive representation of Simon's sexuality. I think the fact that Simon is proud of who he is and the fact that he is kind of satisfied with who he is, but it's more so he fears how relationships will change as people know he is gay, is a very mature understanding of what it can mean to come out, especially nowadays where diverse sexualities and diverse identities are a lot more accepted. Because when he talks about going to college, when he talks about being in other places, he's fine with being known as a gay man. He's fine with people having that identity. It's more so that people in his life who have known him for 13 years, like with Leah, don't know that he's gay. And he just knows, as is realistic, that having that knowledge come out is going to change that relationship dramatically. And I think that is used as a really effective tool where it's not the fact that he is gay, it's the fact that he didn't get to come out in his own way. That was a really big part of this film, because what Martin did was so, like, evil, you know? Like, the fact that he, like, completely took that away from Simon, like, that was a very hurtful thing. And Simon is able to talk about that. He makes it a big point when, in that parking lot scene, he yells at Martin, being like, this is just a terrible thing that you took from me. It's not that I'm gay, it's just that I wanted to be able to do this in the way I found comfortable to the people I wanted to when I wanted to. And that's a very, very important thing, because coming out is a very, very significant part of being gay, you know, or being queer in any way, really. So that's something I really do like about the film, because I think it's very mature, I think it's very well understood, and I think it's very reasonable how they kind of go through that whole process. So yeah, I think that's about what I have to say. Thank you.